Did you know some mid-sized American cities have higher happiness scores than New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago combined? That's the twist. While everyone chases the big metros, the real quality of life is hiding in cities most people barely think about. You're not supposed to know this because locals like keeping them under the radar. But stick around, because number 3 doesn't just rival a big city, it actually outshines it in culture without any of the chaos. Madison is one of those places that constantly sneaks onto happiest city in America lists, and it's not hard to see why. This mid-sized gem, nestled between 2 sparkling lakes, feels like a mix between a bustling college town and a lakeside retreat. Picture strolling through the Dane County Farmers Market on a Saturday morning, surrounded by fresh produce, live music, and the smell of cheese curds frying in the air. By afternoon, you're kayaking on Lake Mendota, and by evening, you're catching a concert downtown, all without leaving the city limits. Retirement or not, Madison knows how to keep life interesting. But Madison isn't just about lakes and leisure, it's also a city with brains. As the home of the University of Wisconsin, it's packed with libraries, museums, and a steady flow of students and professors who keep the energy buzzing year-round. Retirees here love that they can live in a smaller city without ever feeling cut off from culture, education, or healthcare. And speaking of healthcare, Madison is ranked as one of the top cities in the U.S. for medical access, thanks to its university hospital system. On the practical side, Madison's median home price sits around $425,000, which is significantly lower than big metros like Chicago, just a couple of hours away. Crime rates are low, unemployment is below the national average, and the city consistently ranks high for walkability and bike friendliness. Add in Wisconsin's obsession with food, cheese, bratwurst, and beer festivals galore, and you've got a recipe for a lifestyle that balances fun and affordability. The trade-off? Winters here are no joke. We're talking sub-zero temperatures, endless snow shoveling, and wind that makes you rethink every life choice. But if you can survive the cold, Madison rewards you with lakeside summers that feel like pure magic. And if you think that's impressive, wait until city number 2, a mountain-flanked hotspot where Californians have been fleeing in droves. Boise used to be the city nobody talked about, until suddenly everyone did. Over the past decade, it's become one of the fastest-growing cities in the U.S., thanks in large part to Californians packing up their Teslas and heading north for a cheaper, quieter lifestyle. And honestly, it's not hard to see why. Boise has the kind of outdoor access that feels almost unfair. Picture stepping out of your front door and being just minutes away from hiking trails, river rafting, or biking paths that seem to stretch forever. In winter, you can ski at Bogus Basin by day and still be home in time for dinner. It's like nature put a retirement package together and called it Idaho. But here's the twist. Boise isn't just about nature. The downtown area has completely reinvented itself over the past decade. Breweries, coffee shops, and art spaces now line the streets, giving it the kind of urban energy people usually associate with cities twice its size. The locals are famously friendly, so friendly in fact that newcomers often joke about Boise nice being its own cultural export. For retirees, that sense of community can be a huge draw, especially when combined with the laid-back pace of life. Now for the numbers. Boise's median home price is around $480,000, which, while higher than it used to be, is still dramatically cheaper than the West Coast hubs many people are leaving behind. Crime rates are below the national average, the job market is growing in tech and healthcare, and the city boasts over 200 days of sunshine a year. The trade-off? That rapid growth means the cost of living has shot up, traffic is worse than locals remember, and longtime residents sometimes grumble about outsiders changing the culture. But if you're looking for a city that blends outdoor adventure with modern conveniences, Boise delivers. And if you thought Boise's growth was wild, wait until you hear about city number 3, where mountain scenery collides with craft beer culture in the quirkiest way possible. Asheville is the city that feels like it was designed by artists who refuse to follow a blueprint. Tucked into the Blue Ridge Mountains, it looks like a mountain town, but lives like a cultural hotspot. Picture walking through a downtown where street performers play banjos on every corner, murals splash across old brick walls, and the smell of fresh sourdough and craft beer drifts out of every other building. Retiring here doesn't just mean quiet mountain living, it means stepping into a permanent art festival with a side of world-class hiking. What makes Asheville stand out is its personality. This city has earned the nickname Beer City USA, with more breweries per capita than almost anywhere else in the country. Retirees often spend their afternoons sampling local brews before heading to a live music venue. And it's not unusual to find yourself in a bar where the band sounds like they should be on tour. Add in the farm-to-table food scene, quirky bookstores, and weekly craft fairs, and you've got a mid-sized city that feels way bigger than its population of about 95,000. On the number side, Asheville is pricier than you might expect. The median home price hovers around $450,000, higher than the North Carolina average, but still far below major coastal cities. Healthcare access is solid, thanks to Mission Health, one of the region's largest hospital systems. Crime rates are close to the national average, and the weather is mild. Warm summers, colorful falls, and winters that rarely hit the extremes of northern states. The trade-off? Tourism. Asheville's charm isn't a secret, and in peak season, downtown can feel more like Times Square with hiking boots. Parking becomes a competitive sport, and prices creep up as demand grows. Still, for retirees who want a balance of creativity, community, and natural beauty, Asheville checks every box. And if you think living in a mountain art hub is unusual, just wait until city number 4, the place people only meant to drive through but ended up calling home. Des Moines is the kind of city people love to joke about, usually while driving through it on a cross-country road trip. But here's the secret. Those who actually stop often realize it's one of the most underrated places to live in the entire Midwest. Picture safe, tree-lined neighborhoods, a growing downtown filled with murals and trendy coffee shops, and summer nights spent at minor league baseball games where tickets cost less than your last fast food run. Retirement here doesn't feel like fading into the background. It feels like rediscovering simplicity, but with just enough buzz to keep things interesting. What surprises most newcomers is how much Des Moines has grown in the past 2 decades. Once considered a sleepy insurance hub, it's now home to a rising tech sector, a thriving art scene, and even a food culture that locals proudly defend against coastal snobs. Retirees especially love the balance. It's big enough to have world-class hospitals and cultural events, but small enough that you won't get stuck in traffic every time you try to grab groceries. And then there's the affordability. The median home price is around $240,000, which is nearly half the national average. Cost of living here is about 15% lower than the US average, meaning your retirement dollars stretch further. Crime rates are lower than most mid-sized cities, and with a population of around 215,000, it's the perfect middle ground. Large enough to have amenities, small enough to feel personal. The trade-off? Nightlife is limited. If your idea of retirement involves rooftop clubs and 2 a.m. pizza, you'll probably feel restless here. Winters can also drag on with icy winds that make walking downtown feel like a survival game. Still, for people looking for safety, affordability, and a sense of community, Des Moines is quietly one of the best-kept secrets in America. And if you think Iowa is surprising, wait until city number 5, where history, beaches, and cobblestone streets make every day feel like a living museum. Charleston is the kind of city that makes you wonder if you accidentally walked into a movie set. Cobblestone streets, pastel-colored homes with gas lanterns flickering at night, and horse-drawn carriages clopping along historic avenues. Its southern charm turned up to 11. Retiring here means living in a place where every day feels like a stroll through a museum that just happens to have world-class restaurants on every corner. Picture yourself sipping sweet tea on a shaded porch while the scent of jasmine drifts through the air. It's almost too perfect. But Charleston isn't just about its postcard looks. The food scene is legendary, blending low-country traditions with modern twists. Shrimp and grits, fried green tomatoes, and fresh oysters aren't just meals here. They're a way of life. The cultural calendar is packed too, from art walks to jazz festivals, and the nearby beaches mean you can spend mornings swimming in the Atlantic and evenings attending historic theater performances. For retirees who want both relaxation and stimulation, Charleston delivers both in spades. Now let's look at the numbers. The median home price sits around $525,000, higher than the national average but still less than many coastal cities with half the charm. Crime rates are moderate but generally lower in the historic district and surrounding suburbs. The healthcare system is strong, with MUSC Health ranked among the best hospitals in the Southeast. Combine that with a city population of about 156,000, and Charleston hits that sweet spot between vibrant and manageable. The trade-off? Summers. They're hot, they're sticky, and the humidity feels like wearing a wet blanket you can't take off. Hurricanes are also part of the deal, and locals know how to stock up on bottled water at a moment's notice. Still, if you can handle the weather, Charleston rewards you with one of the most charming, culturally rich retirements in the country. And if you think living in a living museum sounds dreamy, wait until city number 6, a place where you can snowboard in the morning and golf by the afternoon. Salt Lake City is one of the few places in America where you can actually brag about snowboarding in the morning and golfing in the afternoon, and not sound like you're making it up. The city sits in a valley hugged by the Wasatch Mountains, so no matter where you stand, the backdrop looks like a travel brochure. Winters bring world-famous ski slopes just 30 minutes away, while summers open up endless hiking, biking, and boating on mountain lakes. For retirees who love the outdoors, this isn't just a city, it's a playground with a zip code. But Salt Lake isn't all mountains and powder. The downtown area has transformed in the last decade, shaking off its old reputation as a quiet, conservative hub and reinventing itself as a growing, youthful city. Breweries, rooftop bars, and coffee shops now dot the streets, and the cultural scene is stronger than ever, from live music venues to the Utah Symphony. Tech jobs have poured into the region too, giving it the nickname Silicon Slopes. That's good news for retirees who want to live near family members still working. This city offers opportunities for everyone, not just those ready to slow down. The practical side? Salt Lake City's median home price is around $540,000, higher than the national average but far cheaper than West Coast cities like San Francisco or Seattle, which it's often compared to. The population is just over 200,000, crime rates are close to average, and healthcare access is excellent thanks to the University of Utah hospital system. The trade-off comes with that rapid growth. Housing prices have been climbing fast, traffic is thicker than locals remember, and air quality can dip in winter thanks to a weather phenomenon called inversion, which traps smog in the valley. Still, retirees who can handle the occasional gray day swear the combination of outdoor beauty and urban energy makes Salt Lake one of the best mid-sized cities to call home. And if you think this mountain playground sounds ideal, wait until city number 7, a place where college town charm and brainpower collide in the Midwest. Ann Arbor might just be the smartest mid-sized city in America. Home to the University of Michigan, it feels less like a typical city and more like a think tank disguised as a community. Walk down Main Street and you'll pass independent bookstores, quirky coffee shops, and farm-to-table restaurants that look like they were lifted straight out of a magazine. Retiring here means blending into an environment that's equal parts academic, cultural, and cozy. Imagine mornings spent wandering leafy neighborhoods where every other house has a front porch swing, followed by evenings at symphony concerts or lectures open to the public. It's like living inside a college campus that never really grows old. But Ann Arbor doesn't just coast on being intellectual. The city is filled with green spaces, bike paths, and a food scene that punches way above its weight. It consistently ranks among the best U.S. cities for both education and healthcare, which is exactly why many retirees choose it. The University of Michigan Health System is one of the top hospitals in the country, giving residents peace of mind when it comes to long-term care. Add in the art fairs, film festivals, and the fact that the city basically shuts down every Saturday in the fall to worship at the Temple of Michigan Wolverines football, and you've got a retirement that's never boring. On the numbers side, Ann Arbor is pricier than most Midwest cities. The median home price sits around $550,000, well above Michigan's state average, but lower than coastal hotspots. The population hovers near 125,000, crime rates are below average, and the quality of life scores are consistently high. The trade-off? Cost and crowds. Housing is expensive compared to nearby cities like Lansing, and the constant influx of students means traffic and parking can test anyone's patience. Winters are also long and gray, though not as brutal as Wisconsin or Minnesota. Still, for retirees who want brains, culture, and charm in one package, Ann Arbor stands out. And if you think a college town sounds lively, wait until city number 8, a mountain city so obsessed with fitness that even its cheeseburgers come with a side of guilt. Boulder is the city that makes you feel out of shape just by walking down the street. Everywhere you look, people are running, biking, hiking, or climbing something. It's the kind of place where even the retirees look like they just finished training for a triathlon. Tucked at the base of the Flatirons, Boulder delivers mountain views so dramatic they feel staged, and 300 days of sunshine a year mean you're almost guilt-tripped into being outside. Retiring here isn't about slowing down. It's about keeping up with a city that treats active lifestyle as its unofficial motto. But Boulder isn't just about exercise. The city has a vibrant downtown filled with art galleries, indie bookstores, and some of the best restaurants in Colorado. Pearl Street Mall acts like the community's living room. Street performers juggling fire, musicians playing banjos, and outdoor cafes packed with locals sipping craft coffee. For retirees, it's the perfect mix of natural beauty and cultural energy. You can hike in the morning, attend a lecture at the university in the afternoon, and catch live music at night, all without ever leaving town. On the numbers side, Boulder is both impressive and intimidating. The median home price is around $1.1 million, nearly 3 times the national average, and the cost of living is about 30% higher than the US average. But that price tag comes with perks: low crime, excellent health care, a population of just over 100,000, and quality of life rankings that consistently put Boulder among the best places to live in the country. The trade-off? Cost, plain and simple. Unless you've got a hefty nest egg or downsize from a big coastal city, Boulder can feel financially out of reach. The fitness culture can also be overwhelming. Locals take health so seriously that eating a cheeseburger here practically feels like a public confession. Still, if you can afford it, Boulder delivers one of the most beautiful, active retirements in America. And there you have it, 8 of the best mid-sized cities in America, each offering its own unique mix of charm, culture, and opportunity. From Madison's lakeside energy to Boulder's mountain lifestyle, these cities prove you don't need a massive metropolis to enjoy world-class living. Mid-sized cities often strike that rare balance, big enough to give you healthcare, culture, and community, but small enough that you don't feel swallowed by traffic, noise, or sky-high prices. The best part? They're all different. Some are artsy, some are outdoorsy, and some are quietly affordable places where your dollar goes further than you ever thought possible. The real question is, which of these cities would you actually move to? Drop your pick in the comments because I'd love to see which one wins. And if you found a new city to add to your bucket list, make sure to hit that like button so more people can discover these hidden gems too.